festival. Here.
Yeah.
Fucking Tilly and Tarquin, fucking bank of mum and dad. Never done a proper day's work in their lives with the oversized sunglasses and the fucking designer wellies. Let's bring down the government. Let all the immigrants in. Why can't we all live in peace and harmony? Because we fucking can! And no amount of flowers that you put in your fucking middle-class hennaed fucking hair is gonna change that! Would anybody like a disco biscuit? Fuck off!
America and Europe are facing incredibly similar problems. And that's because we are under attack by the same sick globalist agenda. As a result of that, my continent finds itself in rough waters, and that is to put it mildly. Europe is being flooded with immigrants from non-Western countries. Our national identities are being destroyed and replaced. Our sovereignty is given up to bureaucrats, unelected bureaucrats, may I add, in Brussels. Our churches are closing their doors, and we are spending billions and billions of euros on a non-existing climate crisis and a war in Ukraine that isn't even ours. In fact, I would go as far as to say that we are paying for our own destruction.
When it's not always raining, there'll be days like this. When there's no one complaining, there'll be days like this.
Guys, let's go.
Some of them, they're not screaming. It's like they wanted to be raped, you see. She also grabs you see, no
It's
more
like
crying.
she's enjoying it, you know,
see.
even though she isn't, but it's like she's enjoying it.
Do you think it's right? Do you think it's right to rape?
Yeah, it's wrong. Yeah, it's wrong.
What about the consequences of what you're doing in terms of how that affects
Exactly.
the person that's raped?
Yeah, the consequences, we look at that all the time, you know, because it happens, she might scream, you know, people might wake up. A lot of people, especially.
I'm not just talking about, I'm talking about the emotional effect, the physical effect it has on the
Yeah,
girl.
yeah. Sometimes we know that we might rape her and wake up tomorrow with viruses ourselves, like HIV, you know.
What about regretting what you've done to the girl?
I also do regret about it, because if she fell pregnant, what will be that baby's father? Who will be that baby's father?
But what about her personal feelings?
This is the story of men who are victims of war. Victims of war. The combat footage you will see was culled from the Vietnam War years. 19.
All those who will never war, they won't forget what they see. This destruction of many in their pride, whose average age was 90.
In World War II, the average age of the combat soldier was 26. In Vietnam, he was 19.